South Africa's political landscape is entering a decisive and potentially volatile new phase, and what just happened inside the Democratic Alliance could reshape the balance of power in the country. Because this is not just a leadership update, this is a strategic reset at a critical moment in South Africa's history. Msimanga has now taken one of the most powerful positions in the party, becoming federal chairperson after a tightly contested internal election. But what makes this moment far more significant is not the position itself, it is the timing and the message behind it. Because this rise comes as South Africa transitions into a coalition era following the 2024 elections, where no single party holds absolute control. Power is now negotiated, influence is shared, and political survival depends on strategy, not dominance. Msimanga understands this shift, and he is responding with something bold, a plan to rebuild the Democratic Alliance from the inside while simultaneously expanding it into political territories where it has historically struggled. This is not a small adjustment, it is a high-risk political move. Because for years, the DA has faced one major challenge: growth. The party has consistently struggled to expand beyond its traditional voter base, limiting its ability to compete nationally. Now that limitation is being directly confronted. Msimanga has made it clear that the party must push into new communities and present itself as a political home where more South Africans can see themselves represented. But here is where the tension begins, because entering new political ground is not just about strategy, it is about credibility, and credibility cannot be forced, it must be earned. At the same time, the political environment is becoming more competitive. Parties like the Economic Freedom Fighters and the Umkhonto we Sizwe Party are aggressively targeting voter frustration, particularly around unemployment, inequality, and service delivery failures. This creates a volatile political battlefield, one where messaging alone is no longer enough. And this is exactly why Msimanga's approach goes deeper than public statements, because behind the headlines there is a clear structural strategy emerging. The first priority is internal reform. Msimanga has emphasized that the party cannot win elections if its internal systems are weak. He has pointed directly to the need for a stronger organizational structure, describing it as essential for electoral competitiveness. This reflects a shift towards a more disciplined, systems-driven political model, one where campaign success is built on coordination, planning, and execution, not just leadership visibility. The second element of the strategy is generational change. The recent Federal Congress did not just elect Msimanga, it introduced a younger leadership core across the party, including figures like Jordan Hill-Lewis, signaling a deliberate shift towards a new political identity. This is significant because it represents a transition from the old guard to a new generation of leaders who are expected to redefine how the party engages with voters. But analysts warn that leadership change alone is not enough. It does not automatically solve deeper socio-economic challenges or guarantee electoral success. And that is where the real challenge lies, turning leadership renewal into voter support. Another critical part of the strategy is geographic expansion. The DA is now actively targeting rural areas and communities where it has historically had limited presence. According to party insiders, this includes building local leadership structures and training community-based representatives to strengthen grassroots engagement. This is a long-term play because changing voter perception in new areas takes time and results are not immediate. At the same time, the party must maintain its existing support base. This balancing act is one of the most difficult challenges in politics: grow without losing, expand without weakening, strengthen without dividing, and there are already signs of internal pressure. The leadership contest itself was not without tension. Reports indicate that the race for federal chairperson was closely contested, with visible reactions from outgoing leadership figures following the results. While Msimanga has downplayed internal divisions, describing them as normal in political cycles, the reality is that unity will be critical moving forward, because any internal fractures could undermine the broader strategy. Looking ahead, the timeline is clear. The 2026 local government elections will serve as the first major test of this new direction. These elections are crucial because local government is where voters directly experience governance, service delivery, infrastructure, basic services. This is where political credibility is built or lost, and the Democratic Alliance knows that success at this level is essential if it wants to position itself as a national alternative. Beyond that, the long-term goal is even more ambitious: the 2029 national elections. This is where the party aims to move from being a coalition participant to a leading force in government. But achieving that goal will require more than strategy. It will require execution, consistency, and the ability to adapt to a rapidly changing political landscape. There is also a broader context that cannot be ignored. South Africa is facing significant socio-economic challenges: high unemployment, service delivery failures, infrastructure issues, and growing public frustration. These issues are shaping voter behavior, and they are creating opportunities for political shifts. But they are also raising expectations. Voters are no longer satisfied with promises. They want results, and they want them quickly. From Msimanga, this is the real test. Can he translate vision into action? Can he turn internal reform into electoral success? And can he expand the party without losing its core identity? Because in today's South Africa, political success is no longer guaranteed by history or position. It must be earned, and it must be sustained. As this new chapter unfolds, one thing is clear: the Democratic Alliance is no longer playing a defensive game. It is positioning itself for power, real power. But whether it can achieve that ambition will depend on what happens next, not inside conference halls, but on the ground, among voters, across communities, and in the realities of everyday South African life.